Today's guest is Amy Lind. Here's our job talk with a criminal defense attorney.
Welcome to the Job Talk podcast, where we talk with people who love their jobs. Our guests open up about their challenges, surprises, and secrets to success in their industries. Through conversation, we explore their careers, past work experiences, and the education that got them to where they are now. This is the shortened version from our in-depth conversation. Please visit thejobtalk.com to find the full episode.
Could you talk about the process of getting into law school? I know you have to write an LSAT. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things you have to do. First of all, you can't go directly into law school. You have to have a degree first, or at least 3 years of schooling. So most people get a full degree in arts. It's pretty common to do psychology, business, or political sciences. And once you have a couple years under your belt, then you can apply to law school. Most people, on average, the average age going into law school was 27. So they typically take a couple of years off, do a couple of years of school, not necessarily in that order, and then apply to law school. You can go as a mature student as well, but that's a less common route. So once you have a couple years under your belt in terms of schooling, you can apply, and you have to have taken the LSAT, which is a standardized examination that tests like your reading comprehension, some math problem skills, and essay writing skills. It's like a full day test. And then every school is different. So they'll look at your LSAT grade inevitably, but then also some schools will look at your last 3 years of grades in university. Some will look at your last 2. And then they combine those two, and that's what determines whether you get in or not to law school.
How can a student prepare to write an LSAT, and are you only allowed to write it a certain amount of times?
So there are practice exams. So you can go to, for example, the university bookstore. You can buy little booklets that will give you practice exams, and you can time yourself and do it. You can also take LSAT prep courses, which is just someone who did well on the LSAT teaching you tips and tricks for it. The biggest thing is that people don't time themselves when they're doing their practices. And so that's a huge important part, because you are timed during the LSAT. You can continue to write them. However, they average. So if you do really bad on one and really good on the other, they're going to take the average of the two. So there's a risk in continuously writing them as well.
What are some of the more obvious challenges of being a lawyer?
Well, for criminals specifically, it's kind of thankless. You get questioned a lot about how can you represent those people. People think that you don't care about crime, or that you're like a sleazy car salesman. So that's pretty frustrating. As a lawyer in general, the biggest challenge is that it's not all glamour. It really isn't. You put in a lot of work and a lot of hours, and it can be very difficult to have a work-life balance, particularly when you're young and in the first couple of years when you're trying to build a practice. You feel like you're working all the time.
What advice could you give to somebody that's trying to decide if they want to pursue a career in law?
One, I would say talk to as many lawyers as you can. Find a mentor. Find a really good mentor who can give you advice throughout the stages of your career. And that includes not just the nature of law. Like, you can read a textbook, but how to handle your career decisions, how to handle opposing counsel, things that they don't teach you. Find a good mentor and use them as much as you can. And the last thing I would say is, if you are going to go into law, I went straight from high school, straight into university, straight into law school, and I was a lawyer by 24. And that worked for me. Now I'm 35 and I've been a lawyer for 10 years. But the thing that I hear from a lot of people is that they wish they had taken a bit of time before they went into law. So I would say do that. Travel, take a big trip, do something, because law and law school can be all-consuming, particularly in the first 5 years before you're established, before you have, that flexibility to have a work-life balance. It's pretty much an all-consuming profession, and you're going to be putting a lot of work and effort and time into it. So take some time to do some of the things you really want to do first.
Excellent advice. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to share, or do you think we covered it?
I think we mostly covered it. I guess I want to make sure that I'm not leaving your listeners with the perception that law is all work. It is a lot of work, and we constantly remind people of that, but it's a lot of fun if you find the type of law that you really like, and if you are able to find hobbies outside of law that you like. It's not just work. It's not always 90-hour weeks. It's not always this grueling process. You make some really good friends, you meet some really awesome people, and you're going to have a lot of opportunities that open up for you because of the profession.
Thank you for tuning in to the Job Talk podcast. For more information, please visit us at thejobtalk.com.